Now there's a new head coach opening up in Toronto. New GM, John Chaika, has moved on from Craig Berube. He is out as head coach. I will start with the once diehard Leafs fan, Paul Bissonnette, now a free agent. Your reaction to this? Does this feel like we're just doing a total reset?
Yeah.
At this point?
Yeah, I don't. Obviously, if you look at the analytics and the way they played last year, it wasn't pretty. Obviously, they had a lot of adversity. They lost Tanev, a couple of their big D back there, goaltending injuries, and the big guys weren't firing on all cylinders. But yeah, I think that it seems just kind of like a clean slate and a reset, as you said. So sucks for Chief, and I'm sure he'll land on his feet. He's a great coach, Stanley Cup champion, and yeah, he'll be fine. What do you think, Gates?
So does that mean, I think for me, things have changed once they got that #1 pick.
Yeah.
So does that mean they move off of Nylander and Matthews?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot still up in the air right now. I think that obviously there's been talks that Matthews is maybe a little bit unhappy with the direction of the team, as other superstars in the league are. I know that Nylander is not down for a complete rebuild, and he wants more of a retool. And you've seen teams go through these retools where, we talk about Washington very often, where they were able to be good and compete again. So. I'm interested to see what ends up happening with that first pick, and maybe if a coaching change and that coming in is enough to keep Matthews and Nylander in-house. And I think with a healthy roster, it's a playoff team, and maybe they can catch lightning in a bottle. So I think that ultimately the way they played last year, it was very slow-paced, and it wasn't kind of up to that puck moving that you've seen in years past from the high-flying offense Toronto Maple Leafs. Obviously, no Marner changed things, but definitely not where I would assume Matthews and Nylander want it. And a lot of defensive zone draws, a lot of draws against high-end competition where you got to help your big boys out, especially get some goals come easier. And yeah, it's tough sledding for Chiefs.
I would check and see what the market is out there, which is going to bear. Because I know there's a lot of talk about Quinn Hughes. Look what Minnesota, we just watched this now, had to give up for Quinn Hughes what Vancouver got. But Quinn Hughes didn't have a no-move clause. So it's a little bit different.
Right.
Now, Auston Matthews does. So if Auston Matthews says, for example, I want to go to L.A., not saying it's out there,
yeah,
I'm just saying L.A., well, then if I'm Kenny Holland now, I'm not going to pay a king's ransom. I'm just going to say, okay, he wants to come here. We know he's not going else.
Terrible pun. Was that an unintended terrible pun?
But it's late, so you can't use the horn right now. I'm not going to pay a king's ransom, just like the deal they did with Panarin. I mean, they did a good deal, but didn't get a major
No, but you're forcing it to
it.
one spot because they'd be basically bidding against themselves.
Exactly. So I would look to probably make a retool there, Charlie, if I could, depending on what the market was able to bear for both.
I mean, after what I've seen in Toronto over the course of the last 15 years, they'll chase anybody out of town and change. And when you lose, someone's going, whether it's the president, the GM, the coach, and players especially. I'll never forget when they booed Larry Murphy out of town, and he went on to win 2 cups. Yeah. So it's just, they take it real serious up. Their media will dictate a lot of it. And as a player, you don't need that, the distractions and that attention away from the rink. That sometimes when you're losing, it takes its toll on you mentally. And I could understand Matthews being unhappy with all that. And, and they've been good with him, with the media. I think he's been good with the media and vice versa. There's a mutual respect there. But, that's just an organization that doesn't have a direction right now. So
you think a decent amount of their issues sometimes stems from just like the amount of noise and media constantly? If there was a pie graph, where would you pinpoint that problem as far as media coverage?
I mean, again, Marner is a perfect example. A great player. You see, he's still in the playoffs now and contributing, and he's a great kid, well liked. There's no reason to get rid of a kid like him. But that's just my opinion. But
they didn't get rid of him. He was a free agent and re-signed. I get what you're saying, though. I think that it got to a point where he was taking a lot of the brunt of the complaining. But I also think that it's okay for a fan base to be okay with maybe not seeing results over a certain amount of time in crunch time when players are demanding top dollar and want to be those guys. I think in any market, if you're playing in New York and a guy didn't deliver, I'm sure that they would face a lot of criticism. Maybe not as much as a hometown kid and maybe not as much as Marner in an environment like Toronto. I tend to push back on that a little bit, but I understand where you're coming from.
I'm with Chelly with I grew up in Toronto, and I believe, and I watch the way organizations deal with the media. I think the Leafs could do a better job protecting some of their guys. I don't think they protected Mitch Marner. You watch with Auston Matthews, he gets protected a lot more in the media in Toronto that Mitch Marner did. And I believe that comes from the organization. I've seen it in other organizations where guys get it and media is willing to overlook certain things because they're in bed with the organization too.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination of both things.